What's up guys, I'm Random Frank P, and today we're going to be checking out one of Corsair's brand new gaming keyboards that just got released, the K57 RGB Wireless. So in this review, we'll go over it all for you guys, break it all down, talking about my experiences and my opinion in this review. So first off, this is one of the first keyboards from Corsair that utilizes their newer Slipstream technology that they revealed at CES. I've already talked about this, but in short, less power consumption, more reliable wireless connection, less bandwidth issues when there's other wireless peripherals, but Slipstream is definitely a good thing, so it's nice to see them utilize that in this keyboard now. And one of the big things about this K57 is the fact that it is wireless. This is great to obviously cut down cables on your desktop if you're bringing this with you to maybe multiple setups, using it in a living room scenario with a home theater PC, anything like that. Wireless is the future, hopefully. So once you get it all unboxed, you'll see on the back side, there's actually a little housing unit for the wireless receiver. Just take that out, plug it into your PC, flip on the switch, and it should automatically pair. And then from there, the RGB lights will be shining nice and bright, and you should be good to go. Now the keyboard is primarily plastic, so it's going to be very lightweight, and that is kind of concerning to me. I'll show you why, but let's just get through the overview. On the top right side of the keyboard, we have some familiar functions with the macro recording, the brightness control, a Windows lock key, as well as dedicated multimedia keys, always a plus. And then on the left side, we have 6 macro keys. You don't see these enough, so it's nice that they had that included here while not taking up, a lot of extra space on the keyboard. Macros are obviously great for gaming, photo editing, video editing. Odds are you could utilize a macro in your everyday use case, so it's nice that we have the 6 included here. Also inside the box, they have a detachable, sort of rubberized wrist rest. It's the same one we've seen on a lot of previous Corsair keyboards. And on the back are 2 flip-out feet to elevate its backside. Now in terms of layout, pretty standard stuff here, but this is relatively more low profile than what you might be used to. Definitely not as low profile as other keyboards I've used in the past, but the keys themselves aren't as tall as your regular keys that you might be used to. Now in addition to the wireless Slipstream connectivity, you can also connect this via Bluetooth. As noted by F6 and F7, you can connect this to 2 Bluetooth devices. Or you could choose to use this wired if you don't want to, have to worry about the wireless battery life and stuff like that. The cable's included inside the box, obviously. But the battery life on this, to be expected, is phenomenal. They say it's rated up to 36 hours. I've been using it for a little over a week, and I've been mainly keeping it on just a one static color for the RGB lights, and I think I have like 60% remaining still, and I've been using it pretty consistently over the week, so that's very good to see. Now, in addition to the Slipstream, low power and stuff like that, another advantage is with the Capellix RGB lights inside this keyboard they use, also showed off at CES. And again, with these new RGB lights, they're supposed to be more brighter, a lot more color in the saturation and stuff, but also, again, low powered. In the past with RGB lights and keyboards, it would take up a lot of power consumption, draining the battery faster, but in here, that's really not the case. Speaking of which, you have the usual RGB lighting effects inside the iCUE software. Not gonna spend too much time on this because it's the same, lighting effects you've seen in previous numerous RGB keyboards from Corsair. So very easy to go in, switch it up inside of iCUE. And this is where you're also going to, remap the keys if you want, as well as the 6 macro keys. So inside the software is where you pretty much do everything. But you can also, like I said before, use the macro recording button to make macros. So the software is only really necessary if you want to switch up all the RGB lights. But now that that's all out of the way, let's talk about some of the more important things. The key switches. This is not, I repeat, not a mechanical keyboard. Unfortunately, they are still using rubber dome switches in this unit. I know that's probably a bummer to about 99% of you out there. So yes, keep that in mind. This is not a mechanical keyboard. Who are rubber dome switches for? A very small percentage of the audience out there, people just getting into PC gaming, maybe people just getting into, other keyboards and stuff. So it's putting this keyboard in a tough spot. And we'll do a sound test now so you could hear how they sound. This is where the review is going to start to take a turn, because I'm pretty bummed out that these do have rubber dome switches inside. It's 2019, the cost of using mechanical switches have come down so much over the past few years that it's just confusing that they have these in here. This keyboard retails for $100. So if someone is looking to get a new keyboard that, maybe they're switching over from consoles or they're just getting into PC gaming as a whole, then yeah, they might not, know about mechanical keyboards and they would maybe want to try rubber dome switches. But at the same time, those people who would be looking for rubber dome aren't looking to spend $100. Now, I say that because you look at the Corsair K55 keyboard that came out in 2016. Also has those same rubber dome switches. It was a very popular keyboard. This is essentially the same exact thing. Like, they're identical. It's the same keyboard, just now the K57, it's wireless. So now it starts to make more sense why this does have rubber dome switches, because they're using the same 3-year-old keyboard. And I feel like, again, it's 2019. I understand Slipstream is a good, step forward, but redesign the keyboard, change it up a bit. I just don't think it's cool to use the same exact keyboard from 3 years ago. In addition to that, one thing I really don't like is the plastic construction that I mentioned before. This thing is entirely plastic, and the forehead of the keyboard, I guess you could say, is a glossy material. And just from the unboxing, I had a little smudge up on the keyboard, just from normal use and handling, and I went to wipe it off with just my t-shirt, and it got scratched up, like just from my t-shirt. You can see here in the reflections, there are just tons of these very, very fine scratches, and that's a bummer to see. Like, this thing scratches insanely easily. Just having anything glossy on a keyboard, if it's something that your hands are constantly touching, I don't think is a good thing. And also with the plastic, you can just pretty much pry the frame apart with your thumb on all 4 sides. Also something that I do not like to see from a $100 product. In the end, this is just a very confusing product to me. Using it for gaming, yeah, it's been fine, but you don't really have an advantage at all with rubber dome switches. The experience from someone who's tested probably close to 100 switches out there, it's just not ideal. And again, someone looking to get a keyboard with rubber dome switches isn't gonna be the same people spending $100. I get that Slipstream is new, and this is a good step in the right direction, just not with these keys at this price. If you can put Slipstream in a different Corsair keyboard, I think it would be a big thumbs up. But I can't recommend this product. It's too 2016. It's the same K55 with Slipstream technology. So that'll wrap it up for my review of the Corsair K57 wireless RGB keyboard. If you like this review, give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at RandomFrankP. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.